Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Widad Taleb. I am CNN Business Arabic's senior reporter, and I'm going to be moderating this session here today titled Connecting Saudi Arabia to the World and Enabling Vision 2030. With me today is Prince Mansour Al Saud and Mr. Qusai Al-Fakhri. Prince Mansour is the Assistant Secretary General of the King Faisal Foundation, and Mr. Qusai is the CEO of the Tourism Development Fund. Welcome. I'm very excited to be here today to talk about, frankly, a very important topic and a very vital sector for the Saudi Arabian economy. Prince Mansour, for viewers who are not aware, can you tell us more about the foundation and its contribution to tourism in Saudi Arabia?
The foundation is a philanthropic organization working, has its own vision, which is serving Islam and the peaceful humanity, and it has its own self-funding through its own investments, and mainly the investments of King Faisal Foundation focus on hospitality and supporting that sector.
Thank you. Mr. Qusai, tourism is one of the most important sectors after oil. Can you tell us where you see that sector in 10 years?
Okay. Thank you. Good morning, and it's a pleasure to be here, and thanks to His Highness and Khozama and Faisalia for hosting this wonderful event and summit. As you know, tourism is a cross-cutting sector. Tourism alone cannot behave, cannot deliver without the support of other sectors. Tourism is very important for every country. Any country today focus, in addition to its core business, for example, in Saudi oil, it will definitely boost GDP, will boost job creation, and that's why we are here today as Tourism Development Fund, as one of the sponsors, because we are really keen on helping private sector, helping international investors to support us and to explore opportunities and together to unlock the potential for this country. Saudi Arabia has been working very, very hard in changing the landscape of tourism in the region, from sustainability to green initiatives, and mainly also to leverage on our existing cultural assets, UNESCO sites like Dir'iyah and Al-Ula and others. And here where we are unique in terms of what we are offering, Saudi Arabia is very, very keen on focusing also on its people, the true Arabia, the true experiences. So as His Highness mentioned today, it's a great opportunity for the region, for the country, and for the private sector to tap into what we're doing and together to make a very successful and very attracting country.
Thank you, Mr. Qusai. Prince Mansour, official data states that by 2032, the travel and tourism sector contribution to GDP in the kingdom could reach nearly $170 billion. That's a huge contribution. What has the foundation achieved so far in terms of enhancing the tourism sector in Saudi Arabia?
The foundation worked a long time ago in that sector, and it started with the investing in a company such as Khozama investing company, which participated a lot in that sector by providing several services to the sector for example, in the F&B, which support the hospitality, and also providing a choice of a local management company choice for the investors in Saudi Arabia, or who want to invest in the real estate, the hospitality in Saudi Arabia. And also, since 40 years ago, King Faisal Foundation invested in a company which called the National Tourism Company in the southern region. It was the first operating company in the hospitality and tourism in the southern region. They invested in several resorts and hotels, and also the telefreaks and F&B and catering, and all of the ecosystem to support the tourism in that sector, where no one have ever invested in that investments in the southern region. Also, the foundation also worked on the King Faisal, the foundation works on the education as well by having their universities and the schools, so preparing the new generation to work in that sector, in addition to the new announced King Faisal Academy that will focusedly serve that sector by providing a professional training to feed into this industry. And this academy is by a partnership with Khozama, an international well-known training organizations, and I believe that Mr. Khalid can more elaborate because he was appointed as the CEO of this company.
Thank you. Mr. Qusai, tourism is extremely important for the future of Saudi Arabia. What role does hospitality play in achieving the national tourism strategy and through connecting Saudi Arabia and to the world? And do you think that Saudi Arabia is on the right track to achieve its 2030 visions?
Absolutely, Saudi is on track, and you can see the momentum here and every other event happening across the year. Hospitality is at the core of tourism. The more unique, authentic, with different experiences, hospitality offering any country has, the more you can attract the right tourists. The good thing is we are working very closely with other government entities based on attracting the right tourists. We have identified the countries that we want to attract tourists from, in addition to the strong domestic market that we have and regional. And therefore, we're mapping all of these across the offering with other friends and partners internationally as hospitality operators. We've been working with Who's Who in order to connect them with the right private sector within the country in order to provide the right experiences to the right tourists that we want to attract. We've been working on theming from lifestyle to all-inclusive to glamping as well in order to activate as soon as possible in order to cater for the pressure we have from tourists in terms of offering, in terms of hospitality. So this is all give you an indication of how strong the market is, how lucrative the market is. And in addition to, we have also been working closely with other financial institutions to create funds that will also help us and help our local partners to engage with international operators as investors as well, to put skin in the game with us within the right governance by dealing with some financial institutions like investment firms. So it only looks positive, and we just started, and we are really happy about the achievement so far, but we have a long way to go.
Sounds very promising. Mansour, he was talking about funds to help engage with investors. What opportunities does King Faisal Foundation offer investors in the hospitality sector in Arabia?
As I mentioned in the previous question, King Faisal Foundation is encouraging the companies that they invest in through their boards to support that sector by providing a local choice in terms of managing companies whenever it is required, as the local always aware or and they much understand the local needs and requirements, and that they made a huge success. I mean, Khozama and Siyahiya, which is the national tourism company, they made a huge success in that part, and they're serving in several cities, not only in Riyadh or in the southern region. We have a very good examples, And I know for a fact also Khozama is working with more options that can be announced in the soon future. In addition to the education that is provided through the King Faisal Foundation arms or programs, the university and the schools, they have Al Faisal University and Iffat universities, also King Faisal School. They're providing a proper education to serve that sector, alongside with the newly announced King Faisal Academy. This will feed the sector with well-trained employees to serve the sector. And nevertheless, the foundation is working also in encouraging these investments, and also they have their own investments in the FMB, which will support state-of-the-art FMB, which will support the ecosystem of that sector, and can be a choice for all investors to have that kind of that brand names, either the local brand names such as Maze, the newly launched restaurants in Khozama, and also an international brand names can work anywhere, Neom, Qaddiya, Amala. So I believe that yes, King Faisal Foundation participated through their arms in several aspects and can serve the investors in different sectors.
Thank you, Prince Mansour. We're actually going to get to NEOM and the big giga projects in a bit. But Mr. Qusai, can you tell me about the opportunities that the Tourism Development Fund offers to investors in the hospitality sector in Saudi Arabia?
Before that, I just would like to highlight, as Prince Mansour mentioned, also the government has committed to train every year 100,000 Saudis, to have them ready and well trained to the global standard, and those Saudis are being trained in the best schools globally to be ready to cater for the existing demand by the existing hotels and the one on the pipeline. So just this is very important to highlight. And this point takes us to the next point, where the way Saudi Arabia is dealing with tourism is a 360 view. We're taking care about every single missed puzzle to be fulfilled, from training to different themes within hospitality, transportation, you name it. Every single thing that any tourist would like to have in a country to visit, this is something work in progress as we speak. And I'm sure, as many of you know, a lot of things being delivered as we speak. About TDF, so the fund offers financial and non-financial services. The non-financial, we figured out, is very important for the newcomers to the market, to some international players, because they don't know how to find their way to expedite and to get things done quickly or on the right direction. So we are like an incubator for the newcomers, but also being a government entity to facilitate for everyone the process on the non-financial aspect. On the financial, we offer different products. From equity, we do co-invest with investors, debt and guarantees, and we are one of the rare development funds globally that offer these three. Some other funds, they only do the usual debt business. We also created something very important, so we're focusing on large transaction and SME. We also created something called TDF Grow, which is TDF Business Hub, to cater for entrepreneurs. Last year alone, we trained more than 1,500 Saudi entrepreneurs with the right global schools, experts across all businesses, from hospitality, from finance, from governance, in order to have them working closely. And more, we have more entrepreneurs with focusing on authenticity of this country. So TDF is an engine that enables private sector from financial and non-financial perspective.
Thank you, Mr. Qusai. Prince Mansour, tourism is, again, said to be one of the main silos of the kingdom's 2030 vision. And with all the big projects, the giga projects that are happening, NEOM, the line, etc., where do you see Saudi Arabia after 2030? Because we generally tend to only speak about, from now to 2030, but where do you see the kingdom after?
Well, I'd like to...
In your mind?
Yeah, I would like to picture it as I believe it would be an extraordinary, beautiful picture in my mind. Due to different aspects. Let's start with the Prince Bandar speech when he mentioned that we have in our DNA, in Saudi DNA, we have a hospitality culture. And if I know a lot of international people visiting Saudi Arabia, they're saying that the most important feedback that we get back to our country is the people and how hospital people and how they are generous in welcoming non-Saudis in this country. This time we can see with the Vision 2030 that led by the government and all of the entities serving, we can see that the Saudi within 10 years from now will be the attraction hub for tourism, covering different aspects, cultural, arts, and history, and also different geographic locations that are attraction to be seen, and different kind of people that you will see you will feel the hospitality of them in a different kinds and different aspects. So I gave you the other side of the picture that maybe haven't been expressed yet, but I can see the government is working hardly to present it. It's not only buildings and so on. No, we have a lot to present to our guests from all over the world. So this is my views in 10 years. Inshallah, everybody will see it, and looking forward to see everybody enjoying it as well.
Inshallah. Thank you, Prince Mansour. As someone who was born and raised in the kingdom, I can attest to that. Mr. Qusai, the Tourism Development Fund recently entered a financing agreement with Al-Rajhi Bank and Anismore. Congratulations on that. What else has the fund achieved so far in terms of stimulating investment in this sector?
So let me speak quickly about this fund. I'll try to market for it because it's very close to my heart and TDF's heart. We've been working hard on owning something within the region, something different, in addition to what NEOM, Red Sea, Dir'iyah, and the Giga projects are offering. Lifestyle is a key changer globally. And we found out that there are very limited players who really know how to do it. Anismore is one of them. So the aim is to take Anismore and their subsidiaries of hotels to be mapped across Saudi, from authenticity to agritourism to sun and sea, all-inclusive, you name it. Whatever they can offer, it will be mapped across the country as much as we can. This is one of the theming I spoke about. We believe Anismore is one of the players, but we are working with different players globally, especially in all-inclusive. And there was an article a couple of weeks ago about the key players globally, how they're also shifting a significant amount of their business into all-inclusive. And we believe this segment fits Saudi Arabia because of the spending, family, and so on. We have been working with a key investor on agritourism, and this is something also very, very important to the country. We have different things we're working on. The good thing is we are talking, again, as I mentioned, about key players globally and how to map to the existing assets. For example, we have the best golden sands on earth, how we can leverage on this golden sands with the right operator globally and with the right investors. So the connectivity between opportunities versus the service provider with the right investors is at the core of what we do, and we are really delighted to play this role within the country.
Mr. Qusai Al-Fakhri, the CEO of the Tourism Development Fund, ladies and gentlemen, and Prince Mansour Al-Saud, the Secretary General of King Faisal Foundation, thank you for being with me on this panel today. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our time. Thank you so much for tuning into this panel.
Thank you.